Hello and welcome to, I believe, the 13th Angry Cow Poetry in the Rialto living room.
Hey, the maker's dozen.
Yeah, went through a full year. And tonight's feature, I met through our first feature, Danielle, Nicole, Nikki, Dixon. And this video project that I do, was looking for other poets to join in. And Danielle mentioned Vision. Vision sent an amazing piece. And then we started chatting and we're talking about, I'd offered to talk about filming for Danielle before, some of her poetry and getting some videos out there. And they sent me some people like, can you edit this? So I did some editing for them and they're like, how about you come out and film us? And we went out and we filmed, I don't know, several pieces of each of yours. We had a blast. We were laughing all night. Came with some great videos on both of them.
Eating crackers.
Eating crackers. Cracker outtake is hilarious. It's somewhere online. I don't know if it's public. It's somewhere out there. But since then, I've heard Vision perform many times. I've been able to hang out with Vision many times. Vision is an amazing human, an amazing poet. She's got great energy. She's got great passion. She's got a great performance. I think you're going to enjoy this tonight. Vision also has a book. I don't know if you have extra copies with you tonight.
I do.
You do. So you can walk home with Vision is the title of the book.
Yes.
So yeah, after our Vision's first set, we'll do a break. I know a few of you are new for Angry Cow Poetry in the Altar Room. Glad you're here. We'll do a break, then we'll do an open mic, and then Vision will come up for one more set after that. So please welcome to the stage, Vision.
Woo! So thank you everyone for coming out here tonight. So yeah, Keith is, thank you so much for putting this on. This feature has been a long time in the making, but thankfully I had like a lot of projects. I couldn't, it was like, you know, but I wanted to do justice and honor to what he is doing here, and I wanted my mind to be able to be fully focused on it. And so while my brain is rarely fully focused on any one thing at one time, due to a little ADHD, quite a bit of my brain is focused on it. So I do have a book. I will Vanna White it for you all. It is called With Vision, a collection of poetry for women who desire to be seen, but men apparently like it too. It's really not only geared towards women, okay?
But he'll like it too.
Absolutely, and I do have extra copies, and it's also available on Amazon. I also have a YouTube channel, so please feel free to follow me on YouTube at Visions Poetry, VISION''S Poetry. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started with my first poem.
All right.
But I'm going to start with a little story first. So, has anyone ever heard that you'll never forget how to ride a bike?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the inner city in Baltimore, and we moved there from New York, and my mom had bought all these bikes, like, okay, y'all gonna play outside. But the neighborhood we were in, it was, you know, some of the people, well, one particular person, you know, they had decided that, you know, they were going to gather the bikes, borrow them long term, and not return them. And so that was when I was about 8 years old, and we never bought any bikes since. And so this poem that I'm about to read is about connecting with your inner child. Because at the age that I am now, I decided to buy a bike. And so I bought the bike and had a really not quite so pleasant time the first time I tried to ride it. I was like, and then I was doing everything wrong. Like, instead of using the brakes, putting my foot down, don't do that.
You tried the Flintstone stuff?
I did. And I was like, what? And like, I know they say you can't forget.
And you forgot.
And I forgot. It was tragic. So I put the bike up, right? Sat for another year. Because I had this whole pandemic. I was like, we got to have bikes in case the whole world shut down. We got to have bikes, right? So I went and got the bike fixed because it needed some repairs. And I still was like, I'm about to ride this bike. I got the repairs and put it up. That was last year, right? So I went to the gym on Sunday and I pulled back in And I said, I'm about to ride this daggone bike. I don't care if it kills me. Please don't let it kill me. But I'm about to ride this bike. So I got on the bike. And I said, Nyla, you have done this. Tap into 8-year-old Nyla. You did this. You kept going until you figured it out. So you're going to do this. So I got on the bike. I said, you know what I'm going to do? There's a garage. So I said, I'm just going to ride around in the garage and make sure I have my balance. You know what I'm saying? Somebody pulled into the garage. There goes that plan. So I had to go outside. And y'all know what I did?
Rode that bike.
I rode that bike because I talked to my inner child. And I remembered exactly what to do. So this poem is called Note to Self. And it's just, adulting is not easy. And so sometimes we got to tap into that inner child before the world got to us and told us how we should and should not be, how we should and should not think, how we should and should not look. And just talk to our inner child and empower ourselves. So this poem is called Note to Self. Well, here we are, intertwined forever through the miracle of creation. The passing of decades allows space only for our evolution and change, but never for our separation. Sometimes when I look in the mirror, I can still see your face smiling back at me, reminding me that no matter how many years have passed, I can never run away from the little girl that's inside of me. I mean, not that I necessarily want to. Your survival is the reason why we still exist. And while you may be confused about the chaos happening around you right now, the joyful moments are not to be dismissed. See, we sometimes like to throw away everything because of moments we think no longer serve us anymore. But it's in those moments that our power is formed inside out from our core. I sometimes miss and envy your innocence, even though I know it still lives within me. But its purity has been tested by harsh realities and the imperfections of humanity. I wish I could tell you that life would be simple, but that would be the biggest lie ever told. But every scrape, every scar, every dent you received formulated us into this beautiful mold. See, now, even in the storm, we have to remember, we came from women that walked and breathed in their power. And you will embody more and more of your essence with every passing hour. They carried the moon in their wombs and the sun and stars resided in their eyes. They sustained many lives from oceans that flowed from their breasts. Their body cycles track the passing of time. And little bits of each and every one of them are sprinkled in the fibers of our DNA. We, my dear, are the wildest dreams manifested when they knelt down at night to pray. So while your journey will not be easy, you are built for all that comes into your path. No weapons formed against you shall prosper, and know that the painful seasons will not last. And as you walk more and more in your power, some will come and try to dim your light, for they will not understand the complexities of you due to the simplicity of their minds. See, the more light you shine, my dear, the more shadows you will cast out. But only then will you see who else has a light that you cannot live without. And they will walk with you. Their light will brighten your path on your darkest days. And your lights joined together will light up the whole world like it's been set ablaze. But what I really want you to understand, dear Nyla, is that it all begins and ends with you. You cannot love anyone else fully until you completely fall in love with you. So fall in love with simply everything. Even this awkward stage that you're in. Because if you don't, you end up trying to please everyone else just to have a semblance of love from them. So you cannot give anyone anything that you do not first give to yourself. So do not put everyone else's needs first while putting your own needs on the shelf. Take time to learn who you are and the power of your beautiful mind. You have the power to manifest your dreams into reality as our thoughts travel faster than light. So manifest as much as you can. Take the boundaries of what you can do. Your name means the one who succeeds, Danielle, so that is what you are going to do. So I will end this memo, because we both know I could be long-winded, but I am always here to give you a helpful word and help you chase away the fears. Because fear is only meant to keep you safe, never control your existence. Surrender to the beauty of the unfamiliar and let down your walls of resistance. And don't forget the little things like praying and making your bed every day. And stop with the negative self-talk because it's just a learned bad habit anyway. And what you did for survival then, you have to leave that behind. Because survival strategies are only used to escape demise. They should not be a way of life. I pray that you heard me today. You are the key to the balance of so much. You have so many experiences to look forward to and so many lives to touch. And know that I am not far. I will take time to nurture you every day. And no matter how many days, weeks, months, or years pass, I am only a thought away. Sincerely, Old Niner. I'm not old. I'm sweet. Thank you. So imagine if somebody said that to you when you were young. Imagine if somebody just poured into you like that. But we still have the ability to pour into ourselves, into our younger selves, the same way. It doesn't have to come from someone else. It can come from ourselves to continue to empower ourselves. So
I wouldn't have been able to take it as a kid.
you wouldn't.
Nope, I would have been like, oh, okay.
I can see that.
I can take it now.
Yes,
You know?
kind of need it now.
Yeah.
Somebody love me. Tell me I can do it. Pat me on the back. So this next poem, it's actually, I wrote it originally for a crime survivors event. We were actually interpreting the art of an artist, and we were doing a poem for it. And so the poem, the artwork was absolutely beautiful, and it was a woman's tear. And so this poem is actually called My Smile. My smile once was lost in the blink of an eye when my pleasure was consumed by pain. I hid my whole mind, body, and soul from the whole entire world. I was trapped in this cloudy abyss of shame, and my tears had become too familiar. They traveled memorized courses, resting on the crevice on top of my lips with my reddened eyes, serving as dual revelations that my soul had been stripped. But I took my soul back, because my soul does not belong to you. My soul belongs to me, and don't turn your back, because the truth that you ignore will set you free. My smile once was lost, but my smile is the most important part of me. So I must not concede to the unnaturality of relinquishing what was given to me. Precious beyond belief, these tears will no longer own me.
Okay.
I create my own relief, be guided to my own self-belief. The pain that was handed to me, I have fought to release, and now I smile freely for the whole entire world to see. Because my smile, my laugh, my heart, my soul, this body belongs to me.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I heard it takes more muscles to frown than to smile. Anyone hear that? Why do you know that?
Adam's got to count.
That's actually very exciting that you do know that. That's pretty cool. That is so nerdy. I love it. Like, fellow nerd. Nerds rule.
Okay.
Real talk. My son has a mug called Nerds Rule.
Okay.
And I bought it for him because he's a nerd. And so he be looking at it now like, do I want to drink out of this? Like, is this cool? You know? But, so, what y'all want to hear about? Y'all want to hear about relationships? Y'all want to hear about mental health? Want to hear about love? All of it.
I want to hear that poem that's in that folder that you ain't want to write, but you end up writing it. Whichever one that is.
I've been going to write all my poems. Let's see.
Well, that means read any one of them then.
Okay. Hey, what I got? Okay. I wanna shift gears a little bit. I'm gonna talk a little bit about. Anybody out here ever trying to date? Yes. How's it going? Looks like it's going great for y'all in back. Shout out to the people that look like they kind of like each other in back. And I tell you, it is so interesting. But you know, with my brilliantosity, I think I left the poem.
No.
I did leave it.
No.
I did leave it.
Okay, second half. You did pull out the phone.
Yeah, I'll pull out the phone and find it in the phone. Man, oh no, it's right here.
Okay. It's my favorite one.
You want me to read your favorite one?
Huh?
You want me to read your favorite one?
The meet cute?
Yeah.
I do want to hear that.
You want to hear
at
that?
some point
That's a
tonight,
good one.
whenever you want to.
Oh, I'm gonna definitely do that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna read this one first because we're gonna go like this. We're gonna
Okay.
go like, because relationships have challenges, and then it goes up, right? It goes up sometimes. Like, okay, hold on. Anyway, so has anyone ever dated anyone that was confused? Okay. It's not each other, right? No. So this poem is called "Never Get Involved with a Confused Man." Ironically, the men love the poem because they be like, "Man, the sisters be doing it too." You know what I'm saying? But yeah. It's not that this is autobiographical, but it's not that it's not autobiographical. I will neither confirm nor deny. Never get involved with a confused man. It will take you places you do not want to be. He'll be painting pretty pictures with invisible ink of a future that you will never get a chance to see. See, he came to you almost sort of, kind of, possibly seeming sure about what he can do in your life, throwing hints of these fabulous imaginary plans like he might possibly, almost maybe kind of sort of make you his wife. He will hold you close one moment and push you away the next. You'll be talking for hours one day, and then the next he won't even answer your text. He'll have you questioning your value, hell, even your sanity. Then you go back to the pretty picture that he painted for you, only to find out there was nothing there to see. So you'll be thinking, oh my God, did I imagine it all? Was it real, or was it just me? But the truth is, you were not crazy. You just chose to see what you wanted to see. Perhaps all along there were many signs that you just chose not to read, of the wars waging on in his own mind that were manifested in you all's reality. His push and then pull and then push again, the roller coaster of it all should have made you sick. But instead it created a pattern, tapping into your insecurities, turning you into an addict. An addict to the dream that will never fully manifest. Because he can't give you what he can't give himself, so his insecurities on you he will project. See, a man cannot provide or share in your instability if he is not stable himself. He will turn you into an object, store you on, and when he's ready, take you back off the shelf. If he can't realize his own value, then how can he value you? He'll keep you running on the hamster wheel, chasing a carrot he had no intention of giving you. You look up after many years, pretending to be just fine, but inside the resentment is overflowing, feeling like you have wasted your time. And all the while, this is possibly true, partially true. Someone will only do what we allow. So look within yourself when you are trying to figure out how. We all have been through pain, what will make us question the beauty within us that sits in our soul to this very day, and healing for us is a must. Or we'll keep on after these cycles, one relationship after another, bleeding on the ones we care about from the wounds caused by another, going from one relationship to another relationship, each time gaining a scar, searching for this love that's so close but yet so far. So you will not fall in love with a confused man if you truly love yourself. You'll come to the table with your own deck instead of just taking the hand you've been dealt. Place yourself on a pedestal. To obtain you, one must reach higher. Because we all deserve so much more than to just be a convenience, but instead be truly desired. Thank you. All right, since we're in this realm, I'll go ahead and give Danielle what she desires. So I'm a hopeless romantic, right? I like when I'm gonna meet someone in the grocery store, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watch all the rom-coms in like all the different, from the different countries. I don't care where the movie is from. It could be Bollywood, it could be, I don't know. I watch all the rom-coms because I'm like, oh, this is so beautiful, love, right? So I'm actually a wedding poet. I love love so much that I create a whole portion of my life to do poems at people's weddings because it brings me so much joy. Even if I find out they got a divorce 5 months later, I'm still happy, because I was there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
For them 10
like,
minutes.
for the 10 minutes, for the 10 minutes, after they said a lifetime, it's okay, But this poem is called "Waiting on My Meet Cute," and so, you don't think it's really gonna happen. You be like, maybe just, I could be at the park walking, and as I'm jogging, I bump into somebody. And,
Right.
chances just be that damn easy.
Not now.
Okay. I'm still waiting to have my meet cute. Instead, my experiences have been more of meet crazy. Meet weird, meet strange, meet wounded soul, meet broke, meet poor, meet mean, or meet lazy. I would like to have that moment in the grocery store, standing over in the produce aisle. And as I'm trying to see which avocado is ripe, our eyes meet, and then arrives the uncontrollable smile. Or maybe he'll be my Amazon driver. And as I get my package, he asks me to sign. As he hands over the pen, we can feel it right then. We're supposed to see each other yet another time. Or maybe I'll run into an old flame. And as soon as we see each other, we instantly feel the heat. We start reminiscing about all the good old times and realize that it's us that was truly meant to be. So as you can see, I kind of got this whole meet cute thing down pat. I've been practicing the whole thing in my mind. I got scripts, I got lines, I got jokes just waiting for that perfect moment in time. I even tried dropping a few things on the ground, just hoping that my soulmate would walk by. And as soon as we bent over to pick it up, we were instantly entranced as we locked eyes. But what I dropped just stayed on the ground. Everyone just walked right on by. And as I bent down to pick up what I dropped, there was no one there to lock eyes. So could it be the movies have been lying? Selling us these lies of blissful amour? I need someone to tell me the truth, because I can't keep dropping things on the ground anymore. My 40-year-old back is not feeling it, but my heart and soul still prays for a chance that one magical moment will happen, though it has been years of hell knows and can'ts. So no, I don't have any facts, stats, or data to substantiate what I see in my mind, but reality has proven to be just as disappointing. So is dreaming really a waste of time? These dating streets are filled with so many potholes that can break the axle clean off your heart. And then you're too wounded to even dream. And aren't dreams where all great things start? So I will continue to wait on my meet cute. I hope it comes before I'm old and gray. And we meet at the senior center, wheeling down our wheelchairs to bingo one day. And as you win, you shout, I got bingo! And your dentures fly across the room into my hand. And then you flash me this toothless grin, and I know that you're literally about to be my old man. And while I pray it does not take that long, maybe I could come out of dreamland into the real world just a little bit more and be open to engaging with real life humans on purpose instead of just dropping random things on the floor. But I'm still open for a good old meet cute. How awesome will that be? How will true love manifest for me? I guess I'll just have to wait and see.
Literally about to be my old man.
Yeah,
Across the floor.
I was actually, so that poem was actually inspired not necessarily by Danielle, but my friend Danielle right here, sipping on what I believe is water. Is that water?
Yeah, it's water.
That's, the other cup is water.
It's actually a really funny poem. And so one day I was like, I could write some really intense poems. I don't know what that noise means, but I could be kind of intense. I'm like, sometimes you gotta lighten it up, man. You gotta lighten it up. Don't let people run when you come, because it's about to be too deep. So I was like, and I'm a little funny, so let me try writing something funny, And it kind of worked.
It did.
It worked a little bit. I'm gonna dibble and dabble. I got another one, but we'll do that later. So, sir, how are you? I have a poem that I co-wrote with my brother,
Oh.
Adam Spells. We had the luxury of performing this live on the stage at the Maltz Performing Arts Center a couple months ago with some classical musicians and some drummers and an artistic fusion. It was really an amazing night. If now is not a good moment, I did not pre-warn you of when we would be.
Man, I'm always ready.
Yes. So, this poem is called Love Redefined. I'm just going to, excuse me, I hope you don't take this personally, Mr. Stan, but I'm going to slide you on back because people can't see us.
He's gonna pop you in the head and you ain't.
He really, no, he's not. Let's not claim that, okay? I need my head. I mean, it's already a real special place up here. I don't need no more trauma. So, I wrote this poem. It may or may not, I cannot confirm nor deny that it was inspired by my last breakup, but it may have. Okay, so it was. So, my last breakup, you know, I think sometimes we think we have to make the other person the enemy. And in reality, sometimes you just aren't compatible. And you can really get along and have a lot of things in common, but it's just not. So I kind of make people love me. And so I was like, we're not gonna walk away from this angle because we mean too much to each other. You know what I'm saying? And so we were kind of able to consciously uncouple and go our separate ways. No keys, no cars got keyed, no windows got busted out. It was nice and it was peaceful because we just not about to do this. We just not. So this poem is called Love Redefined. And so Adam Adam Spells is playing the part of my former counterpart. We are, however, are not former counterparts. He is current counterparts. The beautiful woman right there. This is where we are. I never thought that this is a place that you and I would ever be. The promise of us held so much power and made us forget that we were ever just a possibility. We were more than just the perfect image of the personification of black love. You were my best friend. The person I turned to when everything was in alignment and turned when absolutely nothing else made sense, and now that has come to an end and I can barely breathe. Because when you took your love, you took my air, and I've been lying to myself saying that I don't care. I just refuse to cry over someone who could just walk away so freely, start anew so easily, treat me as if the time we spent was obsolete, throwing the towel during our tribulations and trials and admit defeat. If you give up, then I give up too. Because I refuse to look like a fool being the only one fighting for me, and for you, I was your rib. And I always guarded your heart. But now you run from me back to the world that tried to break you down from the start, and while it hurts, it helped me see you so much more clearly. You never valued me or the love that we held so dearly. You wanted so much space during some of my darkest days, and all I really wanted was to have you near me. I mean, I know the world is hard on the black man. The hell is hard on the black woman too. We are the most disrespected and unprotected in this country, and now I can't even turn to you. We went from having conversations so deep, we chose to mislead to choosing to barely speak, because when we argue, the words just cut so deep. And eventually, we were just alone together, sharing space while trying to keep our distance. True healing felt like uncharted territory, so we just chose the path of least resistance. And that path led us down a forest of trees that bore absolutely no fruit. Now, I'm alone, forced to self-reflect and atone, facing the four fingers pointing at me after years of only pointing them at you. And it's so humbling to acknowledge to do some of my own deficiencies and idiosyncrasies. I was never fully available for you emotionally. Standing here saying that this breakdown came from you, knowing deep down inside that it also came from me.
Not having you causes pain. Our sudden departure from one another after promising we remain together. How close we were. And it happened so fast that I hid from my true self and the person that you thought I was, though I couldn't see past my own selfish ambitions. You constantly asked me to hear you. I learned later too late. I comprehended but didn't listen. It's easy to distort the truth when unable to keep a clear vision. Truth be told, I know I need to change, but I stayed and hoped your love would just make my internal pains fade away. I feared your strength and the power that I lacked. I asked myself many times exactly when did we become detached? Strangers in a room together, but the world around us showed us envy. They called us the perfect match. Energy so in sync, out in public in front of the masses. Smiles and blissful passion. A riot inside my mind, scared to commit and I couldn't get past it. Left you self-reflecting. Did we have love or growing disaster? Never knew how to share my feelings. Blaming you for insecurities, unable to give myself more. My past trust issues haunted me, and I looked for reasons we wouldn't last. Knowing your love could drive us, but still felt one day we'd crash. I know you felt that pressure. Our communication just seemed to end. It was like we were comfortable not developing our future. Since we were so close as being friends, and I never wanted to hurt you, so I just buried myself in work, thinking time could mend the differences, eventually break down any resistance, asking you to settle for less when you only desire for our growth to be consistent, but it didn't. Now I'm left grieving the loss of all your attention, left picking up my baggage, praying I learn how to release it, or love will keep evading me if I never learn how to keep it, so I'll pray that you'll be happy.
I wish it didn't have to come to this, but I am of those who submit.
What we had was not in vain, it's just what we choose to do with it.
It's obvious that we have some things within ourselves that we need to heal and address.
But we can keep ignoring them and hurt the ones who come next.
And what about us and all the time that we invested?
You'll always be my sister. When I told you I'll always be there for you, I meant it.
But I promise you, I hold no resentment,
No grudge.
I am grateful, despite the outcome. There was a moment in time that we loved.
Mm.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Always, sister.
So we did that with paper, but at one point we had that completely memorized. I was feeling good too. We was up tired one night rehearsing. We was like, we gonna have it. We gonna have it.
Yeah, y'all were locked in.
We was locked in. We did. We got it. Like, yes, let me remember that.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I didn't embarrass her.
You could never embarrass me, but I'm glad you didn't.
Leave us now.
So we're gonna go on an upslide a little bit, right? So, but yeah, that was, you know, they say it's a really bad idea to date writers because they end up writing about you. We do.
Yeah, ask Taylor Swift.
Yes. We're not gonna talk about that. Someone had told me that she'd be sabotaging her relationship so she can get inspiration to write. I didn't get it, but I don't do that. I don't do that. For real, I don't do that. I really don't. But yeah. What was that, my brother? You were supposed to be like my brother for real.
I know.
So we gonna talk about some love, like love. So
Okay, love. Okay.
So this poem is called Pure Love. And this is a poem I wrote for someone's wedding. It was one of the most beautiful experiences I had ever had. It was really a beautiful wedding. Because I would be like a person to like, they needed like a seat filler at a wedding. I would be like a seat filler. You know how they have seat fillers at like award shows and stuff like that? And it was like, Aunt Mabel didn't come, so we need somebody to sit in Aunt Mabel's seat. I I would sit in the I'm able seat. And I would be I'm able for the whole day just to be able to go to weddings. Like,
You'd be crying. You're like, oh,
I would. I'd be crying like I'm able. I
that's
wouldn't.
so beautiful.
So yeah, this poem is called Pure Love. Basking in the true power of God as He guides our steps. Each passing day proven true is the manifestation as to how well God knows better than us what it is that we need. Perfection will never be attained by either one of us. But as time passes, our imperfections and the reality of our mere humanity is brought forth for both of our eyes to see. But none of this even matters because there's nothing stronger than true love and all of its divine purity. We will not walk this road with rose-colored glasses. No blinders have been provided on this ride because I need to see it and feel it all every step of the way. And be present in every emotion that my heart can feel when I'm with you because loving you and being with you has proven to be the only way. You came into my life in a way that I could have never have predicted. And while you accept me for who I am, you will never accept me for being any less than the best that I can be. And when I'm feeling low, you remind me of my greatness. There is nothing like the feeling of being with someone who sees the absolute best in me. I never knew that being with someone could ever be this easy. We crossed each other's paths so many times before, only to be brought together when God Himself knew we were ready. Ready to give each other exactly what it is that He knew we would need. I'm so happy to finally be paired with someone who is a giver in a world filled with so much greed. Showing me a part of true love that in my past I never knew existed. Slowly but surely, intentionally and divinely, I put one foot in front of the other, walking into the world of you and me. The joining together of not just us, but both of our families. Creating a whole new unit of strength. I can't wait for the next steps on this journey. You've shown me things in this life that I've never seen before with my two eyes. You've taken the time to redefine. You treated me like your work of art and drew outside of all of my self-created lines and made love exist again, even in the damaged and abused parts of my mind. Reminding me that love is more than just a word. They are actions. Actions that take my breath away each and every time. I am so happy to be with you. How sweet it is to simply be loved by you. Sometimes tears come to my eyes when I think of you. You've touched my heart. You've kissed my spirit. You've walked with me through the sunshine, the snow, the hail, and the rainfalls too. All the people in the whole entire world, and God brought me to you. Forever, eternity, and infinity sound like my own personal piece of heaven when I get to spend it with you. See, I was always meant for you. And you was always meant for me. The bonding together of our two lives is my entire soul free. So thank you for giving me a place with you. I may not be perfect, but I will always be true. No thinking or wondering if this is right. I am of those who know you have my heart, mind, body, and soul. So please, don't let go. Thank you. The crazy part is after I do a poem at a wedding, people are like, who you in love with, girl? I be getting pulled aside like, are you hiding somebody? You hiding somebody in the shadow? Because I know that did not come from just. So I interview the bride and the groom prior, and I create the poem out of their words, and then I gift it to them. So it's theirs, and it's from their heart. And so people are like, we know you truly love us. I'm like, no, it's strictly, I can pull things, like I can hear the love in people, and they still don't believe it. They be like, okay, Nyla, of course. And I'm like, no, they just refuse to believe me. So I'm cool with doing the poems about maybe something that's kind of like tumultuous in relationship, because I love poems too. I do believe in love. I don't just be trying to be like throw shade on relationships because I've been single for longer than I had anticipated. But I'm like, am I still single? What's going on? Usually, it's like a bus, like every 15 minutes. I don't know. It hasn't been the case lately. But I've had a lot of healing time. I mean, I've been healing some more, growing more and more self-aware, you know what I'm saying? I know, where my kidneys are, that's how self-aware I am. But, so, has anyone ever been ghosted?
Yes.
It's trash, ain't it? Trash. It's so trash. It is so trash. Alright. Listen, we're gonna get into that. But it is so trash that Oscar the Grouch won't go near it. And that dude live in the trash. Yeah. Yeah. And he lives in the trash can. And he won't go near it. So he be like, nah, I ain't about to fool with that. So I had got, it was kind of like a ghosted. It was kind of sort of like a ghosted. But it was more of like a, okay, we didn't confirm, but we kind of confirmed. But it was kind of, up in the air. But as far, yeah, I 100%. You said the same thing? Yeah, yeah. But I'm actually happy that it happened. So our brother, the person that speaks about the other perspective, is Adam. Is absolutely correct. It has its benefits. He has its benefits. It has its benefits. Yeah. Because the next time I saw him, I had looked amazing. And he was just like, oh. And I was like, greetings. And I kept walking. I wasn't rude. Because everything happens for a reason. So I'm not mad at you because you didn't say, I'm just going to the phone. Okay. So, it's called, wait for it, Ghost. I probably should be angry or frustrated with the fact that you have left my text message unread. After we collectively made plans, you mysteriously have gone ghost. Got me sitting here scratching my head. Got me asking all types of questions about what could have happened to you. Because I know there is not a chance in hell that you would ask me out if you had no plans of following through. Did you somehow get abducted by aliens? Or maybe someone stole your phone. Or maybe you had an asthma attack and passed out. Or maybe you had a stroke. Or maybe you got trafficked. I mean, they are stealing men too. Especially if you got a rare blood type. They can sell your kidneys too. Maybe I should call 911. But then again, what would I say? That I need to do a wellness check on some guy that didn't call me or text me back the other day? I don't even have an address or a location to send them to. Could I possibly be overthinking about someone that I barely knew? I mean, we did have some pretty deep conversations over the past few weeks. Maybe I said something offensive, causing you to pull back and not speak. But choosing to completely go ghost? I mean, that just seems a little extreme. We had such a great connection and got along, or so it seemed. Now exhausted from the mental gymnastics of it all, my cerebral cortex has just caught a cramp. I realized what a blessing it was that you did not text me back. Because if you don't have the balls to text me and say you cannot make it, I mean, I may be a little disappointed for a moment, but I'm a big girl. I can take it. It's not like I would make a voodoo doll and then stab you a time or two. I don't even know where I could get one, and I don't even have any glue. So now I'm just sitting here grateful that you have not wasted my time. Because imagine if this happened 2 years from now after you stabbed me up after asking me to be your bride. Because if you don't have the balls today, you probably won't have them tomorrow. Or the next year for that matter, so you have saved me weeks of sorrow. So perhaps I should be thankful that you decided to go ghost on me. Truth be told, I'm a little sad, but what it is what it will be. I have to wash away all the little fantasies that I made up in my mind that you never necessarily promised me, but they sure felt good at the time. Because who doesn't want to hope or dream that the connection that they made was real? But the reality is you weren't just that into me as I allowed myself to feel. And I'm kind of making jokes, and I'm grateful grateful you didn't waste my time. But going ghost is just a plain old file game that you have been playing with my mind. Once upon a time, we had to face people and tell them what was on our mind. But now it's like people are expendable when you don't have to look them in the eye. And that doesn't mean that I'm not a great person. I mean, I am pretty damn dope. But you will never know how much. But you haven't killed my dreams or my hope. But the one that's not meant for me is not going to ghost or disappear. He will be way braver and have way larger balls, and he will not operate in fear. So continue to float away, little ghost. You're not needed around these here parts. This spot is strictly reserved for the strong and not for the faint or fickle or weak of hearts.
Yeah.
Well, ghosting is just not cool. Unless it's your boss. It really does. I made light of it, but it can cause people some really psychological harm. You know, I had a friend that was dating a guy for 6 months, and he just went ghost. And she really, really struggled. You know, he was talking about marriage and everything. And so it can be pretty damaging. So that's why I say in the beginning it's really good. Okay, you went ahead and you did what you did. I know you didn't take me down no fiery furnace of a rabbit hole.
Right.
So I guess we are done with the first set. We can go ahead and take a little break. Is that what the plan is?
That's perfect.
All right, don't y'all miss me. Don't cry. I will be back.
I'll cry if I want to.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Our next poet came in, I don't know, a couple events ago.
It was May.
May, okay.
Or April.
And
April, I think.
April. And we didn't know Michael personally at the time. We were Facebook friends. I didn't realize it till later. But and it came up in a mask, and a lot of Michael's poetry comes out with intensity. And yeah, it was an interesting performance without having that connection. We've since had a lot of connection. I did pat Michael down. Jelly beans and lint in the pockets were good. Michael's a great guy. We've talked a lot since then.
Is there a reason why there would be something? Why we jelly beans?
There were the pockets got emptied. Like I won't know what's happening tonight, but you never know what's happening when Michael takes the mic, or I don't even know if you're using the mic. I know you're walking around when Michael takes the stage, but
Does the mic wander?
probably not.
Probably not.
There's a little, but probably not.
This
But-
mic wanders, that mic.
Yeah, I think your mic will work fine wherever you want to be on this one. But yeah, there was all kinds of pocket things. Things kept coming out of the pockets. And we were quite sure what was coming last time. So please give a hand to Michael.
Well, I've got 2 poems. First one is a haiku, so I gotta count it out and see if I can get this haiku right. God is dead, for sure. But there's good news, my dear love. Defibrillator. The second poem.
I had to, you made me count that.
Second poem is called A Poem Called.
Yeah, they sent me the wrong size cup.
This poem is called There's No Such Thing as a Poem, which is good because it frees me up to not have to worry, not even about blank verse. Because there's no such thing as a poem. I can just sit down in a coffee shop and have a conversation with friends. What a novel idea! Who's ever thought about having a conversation with friends? I have it because I don't have any friends. I don't know anybody. I'm entirely too white for this part of Akron. I'm entirely too white for this part of Akron. I'm entirely too male for this part of this room. I'm entirely too straight for Pride Month. I sometimes think that God made me straight as some sort of cruel joke while killing my brothers and sisters by their parents' hands and by my own, being like, haha, you're attracted to women because fuck you, Pride Month. This poem is called That's One Big Pile of Shit. So, in the corner, I brought one big pile of shit. Believe it or not, my shit. This is a poem called There's No Time for Poetry. When your baby is screaming in the other room and there's glass on the floor and there's blood in the sink and fucking sky is being invaded by aliens and there's like a pillar coming up out of the ground over there and nobody's talking about it. It's like, what the fuck is with that? No one's saying anything about the pillar that's coming up out of the ground. There's no time for poetry. There's no time for poetry. We've talked about the cows, the screaming cows, the screaming cows, the screaming cows. There's no time to sit down and write a poem about the screaming cows. We need to go and care for the screaming cows. Do you think they're going to give a shit that we sat around giving a poem while they were being shot to death? This poem is called There's No Such Thing as a Poem. I mentioned that. This is a poem called My Shirt, jacket that I like, I don't know, maybe some pants, a tie that I'd like to wear. This is a poem called Goddamn Your Fucking Scriptures. They're not the only things written down. Have we forgotten how etymology works? My scriptures are movies, pop culture, stories that did not rape and torture me my entire life, that did not rape and torture my friends who died. This poem is called, I wonder if you know who Leela Alcorn is. This poem is called, Would You Raise Your Hand If You've Heard of Leela's name? Yeah. Eleanor Rigby just died and buried along with her name, but I refuse to allow for the same fate for Leela. So Leela was a young girl who her parents called her a boy, and they wouldn't let her transition in any way with regards to like the stuff where you can inhibit hormonal growth or like anything. And she was so, every day was so torturous for her, and her parents were fundamentalist Christians who refused to acknowledge who she was, even just acknowledge like that she had feelings and needs and experiences that were valid. And she died. She was hit by a truck. And she posted a story on MySpace in the event of her death, and it explained her experience. And the last words, I'd love for you to read all the words, but her last words were, "Fix society, please." I'm trying, Leela. I'm trying. We're trying. We really are trying. We're trying, Leela, we're trying. And she may be dead, but we still need her. We need her more than ever. So I carry her right here. Defibrillator. This is a poem called This Was Actually One Poem. It always was.
Wow. Thank you so much, Michael.
All right, so the next poet to the stage has been writing since about 8 years of age and has never yet performed a piece in public.
What?
I know, right?
Virgin coming to the mic?
Yeah. And so we're going to fix that right here, right now. Please welcome to the stage, Gigi.
I don't know if I got enough liquid courage, guys.
You got this, you got this.
All right, this is a bucket list to be here with all of you tonight. I feel so privileged and so honored. I've loved poetry always, and I put it on the back shelf to be a mother and a wife and a neighbor and a daughter and a nurse and a belly dance teacher. Other hats to wear, you know. And I met my love at 17. I didn't like dating because I didn't like the ups and downs of at 16 years old. So I met my husband at 17. It was love at first sight. We got married when I was 19.
Did y'all have a meet cute?
No, this is when your eyes locked and you thought, I'm gonna lock that down as soon as I can. Second date, boom.
Hell yeah!
I gave it away. 17 years old. He's 23, that's statutory rape. I said, oh no, I'm at the age of consent. We were married for 43 years. And he passed away this fall. And I was devastated. I woke up on Halloween morning excited. that we were going to go to a party, and I had a costume, and I was so grateful for life, and I got up, and he had passed in the night.
Wow.
And within 3 days, I was talking to my husband wherever he is in the universe and the ethers, because we had, love hurts, guys, we all know this. Love isn't perfect and neat and beautiful like we see in those romance shows. We had our ups, we had our downs. We had problems with addiction and alcoholism and domestic violence. We separated twice, but we loved each other deeply, and we always kept coming back and trying to reconcile and make it work through the fights, through the dysfunction, through the toxicity. There was a love that was greater than all the pain. We both came as wounded children. And we lived and grew up together, and we learned how to adult and learned how to do so much better over the years. And when it finally was getting so good, it ended, and the rug was pulled out from under me. So I'm talking to my husband wherever he is, because I don't know, saying, in 3 days, dear, I cannot deal with this. I never wanted to be alone. I never wanted to be alone. I've always wanted to be a wife and in a relationship, and I fucking hate this. Waking up every morning, not being able to hug you and kiss you, going to bed alone at night, not being able to joke and have my coffee with you. I hate this. I know I'm going to have to get out there and date, and it's the last thing at 61 years old as a wrinkled, frumpy, stretch-marked, bat-wing arms, fat chick that I ever want to have to get out there and do, and I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to put my face on the meat market of life, fucking dating online, where guys are going to be jacking off to my picture all over the world. And I don't want to do that. So, hun, if you love me, wherever you are in the universe, send me a man and drop him in my lap so I don't have to go do that. Do not make me do that. This ain't even the poem. This is the intro.
Sure it's not.
So,
This ain't the poem?
this ain't the poem. This is the intro. So, I was devastated. I wasn't ready to date. And I went to a friend's birthday party, and unexpectedly, a gentleman came up and was very friendly with me, and I felt a little bit of like a crush, that wow, like he seems really nice, and I got a bit of a crush. And I thought, you know what, I know it's only been a few months. It's only been like 3.5 months. I didn't ever think I'd want to do this, but I think I better start trying to date, because it might take a long time, and I already hate being alone. And if this guy don't like me, and he's not the guy you're dropping in my lap, I'm going to be sad, and I need to know there's more fish in the sea, so I'll just go put my feelers out there. Well, that guy turned out to ghost me.
Oh.
Trash! I won't say his name to protect the almost innocent. So, I'm like, all right, I'm glad I did this. So now, all of a sudden, I'm a dating grandmother, okay? I'm going to keep this a secret from my kids and do it privately, incognito, under the rug, because I don't want anybody to know, because I might get no one to like me. I'm afraid no one's going to like me at this age. Well, y'all, when you say, I only want 50-mile radius, Facebook don't listen, Plenty of Fish don't listen, Match don't listen, OK Cupid don't listen, Bumble, Silver Singles, and Harmony does not listen. They send your picture all over the world, and any guy who likes you is going to like on you, and it's going to end up in your inbox. So I thought no one would like me, and I'm like getting tons of guys, but like Beautiful Vision said, a lot of swipe left, no. User, lazy, user,
Crazy.
lewd, rude, whatever. So I'm doing this thing, and after about 5,000 swipes, I see a face that knocks me out. I mean, I literally took the breath away, and I can't tell you why, because there's probably more better-looking guys out there. It's in the DNA. You know how you don't know what makes you just, I saw this face and I just about fainted. And I hit like on it, and within a couple hours, he had seen it and he had hit like too. I come back later and I'm like, oh, the guy of my dreams liked me back. I got on there and I said his name, which I will protect the innocent, and said, "You are gorgeous. I wish we did not live so far away because he's in Canada, and I'd love to see that smile." And we started to chat at 1 in the afternoon, and by midnight we were having video sex.
Hey!
All right?
Hell yeah!
And this has been a 7-week-long affair. But it's not going the way that makes my heart happy. So 2 days ago, I sat down and I wrote a poem, because now my house is empty and I have the time and the freedom and the privacy to do so. So I will now read you the real poem. Okay, this is an Indian man, and you know how Jones and, you know, it's a very common last name. Singh is a very common last name. So I'm only going to use the last name because it's part of my title. And I called it Sing Spring Fling. April 18th, spring had sprung. My hopes had come back to life. With a single swipe on your profile, since I was no longer a lover or a wife. My world had been turned upside down, so lonely from loss and grief. You said you understood loneliness. Your warmth brought such relief. I saw that gorgeous face that took my breath away. You said you were stroking it to my picture before we even flirted that first day. Our words came so easily, our raw ecstasy filled our senses. So safe to be real and sexual. Together, we let down all our defenses. Made each other feel like international porn stars. It looked like a bright new future could ultimately be ours. Consumed with longing like we never felt before. My lover bitch boy and your dirty little whore. Your voice and your smile made my body swoon and quiver. Your sexual prowess made my juices flow like a river. Long distance, steamy sex affair lifted my spirits beyond compare. Sensual, erotic, wild and free. No other feels this way with me. It felt like you cared so much at the start. I'm so interested to know your heart. If it was not for the miles, you say you'd have made me your own for yourself. But your crazy, busy life just puts me on a shelf. We were so on fire. Our attraction was intense. Now your flames are like embers, while my hopes are still immense. Sharing passionate sexual heat, I would nurture it every day. A sacred gift that can't be beat, yet you keep pulling further away. The partner I want in the flesh now barely makes the time to text. Everything about this incredibly beautiful man turns me on beyond compare. To meet someone I crave so much shows life's not really fair. Now, you're my pussy cheerleader. You want me to go have fun. I want you to be my real life partner, but you're always on the run. The man whose cock was hard as rock is now barely found gazing at my pussy mound. Once so hot to get down and share sexual pleasure, now you seem like a hidden treasure. I embrace all of life. You say you feel it and you know it. Will there ever be a time and effort and action on your part to grow it? Will our fantasy rendezvous ever come to pass? When will you get to tap my lust-filled ass? Can you ever make time for me, or are you chronically too busy? Or is your crazy busy just soft words for not that into me? Should I give up hope, walk away, and set you free and leave you be without me? Was it a mistake to give too much too soon, so proud and openly? Did I curse myself answering your cell phone booty calls so cheap and easily? Though not yet skin to skin, I once knew my body was the prize for you to win. It once felt mutual, heart to heart, it felt like we belonged. Through your smile, the sparkle in your eyes, your desire felt so strong. Connecting sensually with our souls, it felt so true and deep. I wish the universe granted my wish that I was yours to keep. You were checking 10 times an hour to see if I read your fantasy. Now, not even breadcrumbs of a heart or lip or hot fire emoji. It hurts to want to love you so much more than you want me. My heart knows I should let you go if it wasn't meant to be. Hoping on a prayer, I hang on to the dream that one day we will make it real, though I see it is not likely. I never felt this way before. My heart sinks, yet still I stay. When I long to see and hear and touch you, but you are still too busy each day. My forever ride or die is fading fast, the only man I prayed would last. Am I just a throwaway for the only man I hoped would stay? Was I just a cheap spring fling for the only man my heart adores, desires, Mr. Singh?
Woo!
Never fall in love with a confused man.
We gotta go on Facebook. We gotta find him. We gotta go find this thing on
I
Facebook.
found him on Facebook.
Right.
First
Fucking
time.
time, baby! Knocks it out of the park!
Yes.
4 runs!
I feel a little bit like
Oh, is it God?
Danielle's
Best
said.
poem I've ever heard delivered in my life.
Oh wow, I'm not supposed to stop in that.
And it's not even close.
That was wonderful. I feel a little bit like Danielle said, we've got a virgin to the mic, and Gigi said, oh, let me tell you a story. This has been a nice demonstration of how different poetry can be already with all the folks we've had. We've got some more awesome folks coming to the mic. Next, I'm going to bring up TaJuan Skai. Please welcome TaJuan to the mic.
My name's TaJuan Skai. I'm a poet, local poet in Kent. My chapbook, which is like a miniature poetry collection, just got published by Bottle Cap Press. There's this press up in Los Angeles. So I'm here like to promote that. I'm like on like a little like tour or whatever. But I'm gonna not read you poems from that. I'm gonna read you some new stuff. I also want to try that out, see how it sounds. So I hope you enjoy it. First poem is called "Becoming a Dictionary," and it starts with a quote from. It's a dialogue from the show BoJack Horseman. So
Nice.
yeah, it's a good show.
Very good show.
And what did you ever sacrifice? I gave everything. I gave my whole life. You died in a hedonistic bender. I'm not talking about my death. I'm talking about my life. I gave my whole life. And still they'd ask for more. And still I give them my all for a flower that I'll never receive. I was never meant to be here, but now I'm comfortable. And I don't want to leave anymore. Police cars passing by feels like foreshadowing, and I hate it. Mama used to say hate was a strong word, and I'm sorry, Mama, but I'm becoming a dictionary. And it's quite frankly not strong enough. Labeling emotions into single words should be illegal. When I say I love you, it's catastrophic. But when you say I love you, a weight is lifted. Imagine being Frank Ocean, grieving over a resting brother, and the internet bashes you for refusing to mask. I see no wrong in hedonism in this economy. No, officer, I'm not high. The beauty just overwhelmed me. I'm starting to prefer manifestation over prayer, not to discredit God's strength, but to start acknowledging my own. Thank you, Mac Miller, for leaving with your head above water. I cooked for you. You gave me a kiss. I think life can say the simple. No, not those flowers. I want the ones that'll never die. Our daughter may never exist, but at least I made her immortal. So could you at least say I'd be a good dad? Grandpa T said he's proud of me. And maybe that's all I ever needed to hear. I'm finding life's meaning in indica lace shower thoughts. And I'm starting to feel more and more enough. I think we're gonna live forever, darling. So it'll be okay if we die young. I got one more.
Woo!
So yeah, that's from this new project, my new little chapbook. It's gonna be called Beautiful Nothings, and I would like tell you more about it, but I don't really know much about it myself yet. Sometimes I really write like something that's just like smarter than me. Like I just don't comprehend it, but it really does deal with this relationship throughout. I like playing with love. I don't like playing with traditional love. You know, I like the love that's kind of fragile, kind of vulnerable, kind of ugly, but beautiful because it's true. So this is called Calming You Down While I'm Dissociating. And I think it's best describes like that feeling, that type of love. Each breath feels like a rose petal gently loving the surface of that lavender lake. Do you remember, love? That lake we dreamed we'd find if there would be a world beyond here. Could you come closer? The pillow is nice and cool. I flipped it over, even though I can't feel my face. Because sometimes it's that simple. Remember that song, love, the one with the violins? Someone said, cue the violins. And then there were violins. Our lives could be that simple. Imagine if we just said, cue the happiness. And then we were back in the daffodil fields, dancing without moving a single muscle. I like how we can just be here together and still feel the pleasure of color in a room drowning in darkness. My voice feels far away. I really can't feel my face. This can't be all that there is. I promise. But quite frankly, we still have things to do here. Can you hear me, darling? I'm starting to fade, dear. I want to be better for you. I'm sorry if I'm not making any sense. Life really can be simple. We really could laugh more, even if we're crying. I don't know. I can feel the waves. I think I overdid it big time. Please, sweetheart. I need you more than ever. Can you please come back to bed? There's so much room. Don't fret. We're immortal now. We're going to live forever. Yeah, that's that. So Bottle Cap Press, just look them up. The first book's called Garden Just for Us, and look, maybe in the future, Beautiful Nothings will be there too. I don't know. They seem to like me, so.
Thank you, TaJuan. Appreciate that. All right. Next to the open mic, we have Alaina. Come on up. Please welcome to the stage, Alaina.
Thank you. So this is my first time ever doing poetry in front of anybody. I just heartbreak, so this is a song called, well, not a song. It's a poem called Jealous of a Past Lover. I'm jealous. At least I think that's what these emotions are. I'm jealous that you will touch another like you did me. I'm jealous of the love you might give to her that I begged you for. Am I jealous to see you happy? Am I jealous to see you move on? Because mentally I've moved on, but my heart still craves a piece of you. Do I miss your touch or your voice, or maybe just a familiar face? Because your face holds so many memories to me and promises of the futures that never came. I love you, yes, but not in a romantic way. I know if I return to be with you, I'll be in the same headspace I was before. Maybe you did love me. Maybe I wasn't good enough. But that isn't something I will wallow over all months on end. Speaking to you has complicated my feelings towards you, creating a soul tie that I thought was broken months ago. Why did I do it? Because in my mind, I was looking at the man I used to love and thought that my skin or my body could bring back a bond that was already broken. The soul tie has wrecked my brain to the point that I am jealous. I'm jealous that I no longer occupy a part in your brain that used to love me. I'm jealous that you'll no longer be filling that space with the love for another, but I'm jealous, but I have to move on.
Thank you so much, Alaina.
You okay, Kobe?
All right, we're going to keep going here. We got several more here. Fantastic night on the open mic. Glad you're all out here. Please keep coming back. Please welcome next to the stage, Ty.
All right.
I ain't a poet. Yeah, my name is Ty, also known as Ty the Prodigy.
I mean, you got a name and you ain't a poet.
I'm not a poet, but I am a professional performer, so. I'm going to give you two pieces. The first one is a song that I feel like fits with the theme of the night. It's called I Don't Need You, and it's a song by one of my favorite artists. And the second one, I actually give you one of my poems. I've never actually said one of my poems in public before, so technically this is my first poem in public. I'm trying to get into space right now because, there's some heavy hitters tonight. Whew. Okay, first one's called I Don't Need You. I hate asking for help. My pride is too real. I would probably die starving before I ask for a meal. These walls I've built, each brick a disappointment. I never told you how I really felt, but this time I can't avoid it. I know I say I don't need you. Yeah, I know it's all see-through, but what else do you tell yourself when that many people leave you? I threw myself into working, trying to prove that I'm worth it. I've been holding this middle finger for up so long, my arm hurting. But now I'm tired of all this trying, and say I'm good and say I'm fine. Ain't no time, let me cut the pride and I'll just say this. I need you to listen. When I tell you how I really feel, don't dismiss it, or start laughing, or act like I'm overreacting. I need to know I can talk to you. Hold on. Wait. Sorry.
No, good.
No worries.
You good, boy.
Okay. I need you to listen. When I tell you how I really feel, don't dismiss it, or start laughing, or act like I'm overreacting. I need to know I need to.
You got this.
Take your time.
You got this.
That's what I'm talking about.
Baby, we'll wait all night. You just take your time.
Take your time, baby.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Why is it so hard over here now? It's hot. Is the lights or something? This is bad. Like, right now I'm up here being a confused man, and I don't want to do that right now. So, can you get my dick straight? Okay, one more time. If not, I'm going to move on to another poem.
This is a great poem.
I need you to listen. When I tell you how I really feel, don't dismiss it or start laughing or act like I'm overreacting. I need to trust you won't come and leave and pull the rug out from under me. I need a place that I can talk crazy when everything in my walk is hazy. I know I've been a little off lately, but look, man, it's how God made me. I need a minute. I need commitment. I need y'all. I need a vision. I need God. I need a visit. I need more than I will admit. And I always say I don't need you. And I always thought it was true. I don't need nobody, but maybe I do. I appreciate my lovers and my haters. This one I'm going to read. This one is called Burnout. I'm a victim to this so many times. So, like I said, I'm a professional performer. So I've done professional dancing, I've done theater, I've done arts. Biggest things I've done, I worked with the Cleveland Guardians, and I was on the entertainment team for 2 years. I did a halftime show for the Cleveland Browns. I've done professional dance battling across the country, from Chicago to DC.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
That's what you do, huh?
Yeah, I'm good with my body, not my words. So,
It'll start translating the more you do it.
So this one is called Burnout. And I'm reading it, so I won't forget it this time. Thank you. I do everything. I try to stay busy. Do not waste any second. Every second counts. Do 3 things at once. Focus on one while waiting for the other. Stay busy all the time to feel that time is not wasted. I could pass away at any moment in time, so let me not waste my time here on earth. But when do I take a moment? A moment to breathe and take a break from all that I do. Relaxation is not wasted time. Adventure, exploration, and travel is not the same as relaxation. Relaxation is rest. Rest is healthy. Giving my mind the time to recharge and start fully loaded. Doing nothing in relaxation time lives on 2 different islands. Yet I have spent my time bridging the gap between the 2. Tell me, where did I find the time to do that? A moment to reflect. Not on what my next step will be, but why I'm taking the next step in the first place. Why this path? Why this journey? Why make the choices I do, and who am I doing it for? Asking myself the hard questions. Usually I cheat and copy the success of someone else, but the exam is tailor-made for every person, and I haven't studied long enough to know what I want. A moment to remember all that I've accomplished. I am enough. I have achieved success in the past already. My name is Prodigy for a reason. No one has yet to dispute the fact. My successes are long and many that 99% of people cannot say they have lived, even come close to achieving. I can take a break. Not every year has to top the previous one. So yes, I can take a moment to realize that I am enough for me, and no one can take that away from me. The creative child I once was is slowly being smothered in pressure and responsibility. The youthful energy I clenched onto is fading away the longer I keep it up. The people around me see me as a 5-year-old's imagination with a 12-year-old's life experience looks at a 19-year-old to people older than I am, 24 years on reality, the lifestyle of a 30-year-old, the mentality of a 42-year-old, and the mentally stable as a 68-year-old. Keeping up what I am doing now will only lead me closer to burnout. And that's my frenemy continuously visits me every other weekend. This is one relationship that I'm so ready to end for good.
Please keep coming back every first Wednesday. It's great to have all of you in the room tonight. We have a couple more still on the open mic. This might give you a hint of who I'm calling up next. Because this mic ain't tall enough yet. My good friend Adam Spells.
Some of my black friends, they've aged in a place that they call the fountain of youth. Wasted away years feeling incarcerated, dreaming of what they become, punished for who the crooked system said they became. Judicial system said their form of unity is the shackles used in connecting inmates together. Stories in conjunction, current addict, current dealer, project warrior. Their background forced them to be warriors, fights fist to fist against their own dads. Now solo up against the gangs that their neighborhoods had a survivor. Now amongst bricks and steel, correctional officers, they don't help with the corrections. No peace offered or protections for those of my complexion. They just divide us up by color and crime. It's a setup, just like some of our communities, and only the strong will survive. Then you're given a number. You go into a database so you can always fit the description. Allow men to get brutalized and scarred mentally just for chasing a little illegal, underhanded financial blessing. Locked up senselessly, hope they can just reconnect once freed again and blend in environmentally, though crime has been committed. The system forgot that they were men, forgot that long ago that Bill Clinton brought the dope in that shut down the pavements. Forgot long ago that Bill Clinton shut down jobs. 80% of the black men held, pushed us to the pavement, aligned with the dope. Murder over territory that filled up the city streets. They trapped the kings and King Kennedy. From Buckeye to Union, and some built unions with organizations and visible guns and homemade gang signs. Turned our landmarks into landmines. Placed cocaine in a place of emptiness. Placed heroin right in the small openings of our own neighbors' depression. Created public housing and squeezed us in like sardines and expected no retaliation filled with aggression. May God bless them. They brought guns to our neighborhoods. They brought the dope and the crime to our neighborhoods. That's it. I forgot the rest. I ain't gonna the pressure of him leaving. I can't think of it, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna read one more. I'm gonna read something from my book that I got coming out. Appreciate you, Tamar. I got a book coming out. It's called My Life in Between Blue Lines. Yeah, that's basically what it's about. I'm actually gonna write a book about myself and not everything else. So I think. Yeah, I'll be a little transparent. It's okay. Most times I'm private, but I've been meaning to put a lot of things on paper, so here it goes. I wanted someone to know I cry at great movies. I tear up during the news. Nowadays, 30 minutes of information is filled with terror and death. I love animals, but I might not never own one. I mean, maybe. I do like to take care of those who need taken care of. My mom raised me that way. I miss her every day. I secretly talk to her sometimes. I had a hard time forgiving God right before now. Grief does that. I miss her daily. She taught me walk to the outside curb of the street to be protective. I wonder some days with the scripture, Psalms 91 was the only source I had to ensure my own protection. Still, without my morning call and coffee, and her advice telling me that God is able, that anger lasted a while. I tried to deploy it, use it like a shield against negative thoughts of opposition to my goals, but I failed at that. I don't agree with others sharing my pain, but truth is, most times they don't even care how you feel if they were willing to hurt you in the first place. So God says we should forgive, and my mom taught me to try to and said it was for me and not the other person, so I do. It's therapeutic, like recording heavenly memories, so I write. Often, sometimes it rhymes and sometimes it's painful, a description of past or previous pains. Not many poems I write you laugh to. That itself makes me laugh a little bit because my girlfriend says I'm funny. Not like how life is, like how excuses are not. When children lost their lives to bad decisions, or when a mother can actually say out of her own mouth that her child got mutilated by bullets, 60 of them to be exact, from those sworn in to protect. Not funny like white suspects being brought in peacefully, or a mother telling the world she approves of you watching the video, her unarmed son being brought to death just to prove a point to an ex-girlfriend. Man, shit, it ain't funny like that. I'm unsure if this is a poem, but I write my feelings out sometimes, and I guess sometimes might be one of my favorite words. My favorite poem is Sometimes I Do. I also wrote that, and I performed it. It never won anything monetary, but I got a friend who asked me to do it at a show, Juneteenth, downtown Cleveland. That was one of the most special moments in my damn life.
Yeah.
And another friend who asked me to perform it at the book signing, I said that shit made me happy, and I felt like they saw me then. Beyond the words, beyond who I used to be, beyond what I'll become, they'll always tell me I'll be great one day. I sometimes wonder, is that later or now? And can I just completely see God's vision? Good question, huh? I love to love, though I probably haven't done it properly ever. I still try. It's worth it. If effort brings a smile, most people could use a reason to do that anyway, so I never mind being corny, because laughter is laughter. It heals like writing does, or singing, or reading, or dancing, or praying. Outlets, they can all help you escape. Over the last few weeks I've wept. I've cried. Not because I'm hurting, but others are. There's been more funerals than births, more funerals than weddings. So I just try and be a little peaceful. Spread some joy, spread some love. Tell you if you read this that things will be okay soon. Maybe not soon enough for you, but soon, because I've learned that God never fails. Woo!
Thank you so much, Adam. All right, next to the open mic, we have Danielle, Nicole, Nikki, Dixon. Please give her a hand.
I'm gonna test out something very new. I'm still working it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been trying to actually write about my relationship with language and my relationship with education, because I'm still harboring some resentment there.
So resentment. That's a good poem.
Let's go, poet.
She says to me, "Why do you do that?" The code switch. Back to that slang from the old neighborhood. You're educated. It makes you sound ignorant. I was thinking about big wheels and having money for the ice cream truck and how good it felt to not have to be on all day. She was thinking about paper food stamp booklets, block cheese, and roach bombs. It gets hot under the mask. Sometimes when I get comfortable, I say ain't and finna. When I speak to the other person of color in my work group, get too familiar, assume we have something no one else can relate to. He gets indignant, lets me know he's from the suburbs, he went to private school, feels offended that I dumb down the conversation as if he would know the ways of hood rats. White coworker doesn't understand why we can't just speak the language properly without the slang that he doesn't understand. He looks at me like he's never seen me before when my higher-pitched, white people-friendly customer service voice drops to its natural alto and say, "But that ain't no way for a nigga to live, fiddler." Truth is, proper English isn't my first language. The broken English, Ebonics, whatever the fuck they want to call it is, and sometimes I just want to go home. Back to the old neighborhood when we all spoke the same way, before school taught us we were ignorant, before we knew that education meant assimilation, meant erasure, before I knew how many people liked me better with my mask on. Okay, I'm gonna do one more.
Love that one.
This one is still relatively new, although I think I've done it a couple times now. Okay, so this one is called Deuce and a Quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Quarta, quarter. I'm thinking about that 1976 Buick Electra Deuce and a Quarter, lime green with the white top. I got to drive for the summer of 2001. How people moved the fuck out of my way, eyes wide as I barreled rail down on him on the freeway, running late for work, windows down, wind blowing my locks, waving like tube men at the car dealership, driving that heavy steel box long as a city block was the first time it felt good to be big. Not sorry for the space I take. 2 spots, catty corner to keep the haters at bay. This big girl fat be way too loud. Wear the black to tone it down. Fade into the background. But in that deuce in the quarter, I'm a loud lime green. Driving hard and being seen. A brazen big dog middle finger. Bullying trotters out of my left lane. Guys who never look at me twice. Catch me at the off-ramp, the red light. They want to know my price. I smile, hit the gas, leave dust in my trail. This big girl swag is not for sale.
And with that, we are going to bring our feature back up. One more time, let's please welcome Nyla to the stage. Vision.
So this poem, Mental Health is Real. So first off, everybody that came up here was like super dope. And I'm like, and Gigi, you trying to play like, she was like, I hope I can do it. And then she came up here, you are a master of
But
storytelling.
then I got my balls.
Yes! Yes!
I grew a pair.
But no, I want to tell you, you're a master storyteller. You're very good. You definitely need to be on more mics and and tell your story because, you know.
I'm in my element. I found my people. You are my tribe that I've been looking for 60 years.
And I do keep friends. Like I really do. I tell people this story. I'm gonna tell you.
I will be your friend forever.
That is so beautiful.
I love you.
We are definitely gonna connect on social media. I tell people this story. I stalked Danielle into the friendship. I forced her to love me. When I tell you, I say you gonna love me. Like I think I'm gonna write a poem about it.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna write a poem about it because honestly, you know, when you get a vibe about a person, it's very important that you follow that vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Amen, Mr. Singh.
And well, he was meant to teach you a lesson. He was meant to show you something. That you were desirable. And that you are going to meet another person. And on your journey, you're going to find your tribe. And as you continue in your purpose of writing and storytelling and poetry, you're going to meet all these amazing people that's going to continue to fill the little spaces in your heart. So I know all this about other people's love life, don't know what the hell is going on. I have no idea what's going on over here. I keep having conversations. Anyway, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. But I was emotionally unavailable, so I had to acknowledge that. I think I'll write a poem about that. But anyway, this poem, I'm going to actually do Dear Sister first, because that falls in alignment with how I enforce myself upon people to be my friend. And eventually they relent. Because they see that I'm not going away. I used to call Danielle on the phone regularly, all the time, and then we should know, why the hell isn't she answering? I don't have boundaries. I continue to call. And eventually she would answer like, hello? I'm like, hey! And I got her number because I sat with her in an empty room. Empty chairs, was a whole bunch of chairs. No one else was there. Why did I sit next to her? There was 500 chairs in the room, but I sat directly next to her.
Right, and I'm looking like, it's 500 chairs.
Retreat the room.
I saw her, and I was like, I love her energy. She belongs to me. So, in honor of that, I'll do the poem, I Stalk My Friends. But I do. And sometimes women struggle with friendships. Like they have issues with, and men too. You know, we all have a journey in discovering our friends. And I know that after I got a divorce and I moved back to Cleveland, I did not want to come back to Cleveland. It's snowy here. I was in Atlanta and it's very warm there. And I played tennis all year round, and now I cannot. So, yeah, I asked God for my tribe, and
Tennis.
I got it. Dear sister, I need you to know how much I love you. So just please have faith in me. I know somebody have let you down before, but no matter what, you can always turn to me. There is an unspoken bond between us that only we can feel and see. But sometimes it can be hard for us to trust each other because we've been divided so intentionally. Pulled apart, placed in categories, based on complexion, hair texture, even our shape and our size. But we have to choose to ignore how society rates us and keep score on our beauty because we are a prize. I'm amazed at how alike we are, no matter how different at first we may seem. Because every time I talk to you, my sister, I learn we have some of the same insecurities and dreams. And I know that for some, the dream of sisterhood was deferred long ago. Betrayed by someone whose love was tainted, so now doubt consumes your soul. But if you open up your heart to this divine love, it will take you in its warm embrace, reminding you once again that your sister is a safe place. See, her heart had once been broken in some of the very same places as yours. So she can feel, hear, and sense your pain in a way you have never seen before, and then she will suddenly appear. When you don't think you could go on another day, she can just wrap you in her arms and somehow you find the strength to move mountains and their falling boulders that almost took your life. But then you use those boulders as the steps to lead you to your purpose and to your life. Sister, I will listen to you when you feel unheard, cover you when you feel unprotected, remind you of your beauty and your worth in the moments when you feel rejected. And I will be your strength in your weakest moments. You can lean on me. Cheer you on when you're at your happiest, even when things aren't going so great for me. And I will forgive you if you make a mistake, for we all deserve mercy and grace. And I will never see you as my competition because we are on the same team. This life is not a race, and together we will learn all the things that we were never taught. Heal from racial and generational trauma and when the battles our ancestors died for when they fought, because life, with even just one good real sister, can take you higher than you could ever believe. But now you don't have to wonder. I am here with arms wide open with this sister, abundant sisterly love. So be ready to receive. Sincerely, your sister.
I love you too, sister.
I love you.
You don't have to force yourself on.
Don't say that when I show up at your door like, hey.
Gigi, open up.
I just happen to be in the Youngstown area.
I don't be here, but come, my friend. Please do. My door is open.
But sisterhood is important to me. I grew up extremely close to my sister. And then she got married to this man, this confused man, when she was 16. And she left home. And I was heartbroken. And, you know, it was cool or whatever. And then, you know, of course, since he was a confused man and he decided he didn't want to parent or be a husband anymore, he left. And she had 3 of his children. And she moved back in. And we still weren't extremely close because her life was 3 children-ish. And then we got really close like over the past 10 years. So it's been super dope. But this poem is called Check on Your Strong Friends.
Aww.
And I decided to write this as a reminder for us all to check on the people that we think don't need it. Because, you know, everything looks great on the outside sometimes. And it may or may not be a little autobiographical. I can neither confirm nor deny. But no, it's real. I've once been diagnosed with major depressive disorder. It was after a long series of very close deaths in my family. And yeah, everyone thought I was fine. Everyone thought I was fine. My professional life was booming, and I had great social media posts.
I believe it.
So everyone thought that I was doing fantastic. And I literally was I thought I was gonna die. It was pretty terrible. So, but, da-da-da-da, I found a therapist. And actually, speaking of sisterhood, my best friend knows me like, and she said, if you don't get help, you're gonna crash. And I know you're gonna crash. You're about to crash. And so, yeah, I started that therapy. So this poem is called Check on Your Strong Friends. I mean, it kind of just crept up on me from out of nowhere. Slowly but surely, like thick cold molasses oozing its way from a frigid jar. Moment by moment, day by day, the joy I once knew began to elude me, slipping further away from the corner of close and closer to the intersection of but yet so far. But see, this emotional opponent is not unknown to me. It has, without an invitation, visited me before at other times. With no regard to the energy it takes and the destruction it makes, it has found a place in the only space in this whole entire world that is truly mine and that is in my mind, and it has no boundaries. See, depression ain't trying to make no good impression. It has no chill, and it does not wait with its wayward ways. It's there waiting for me from the moment I wake. It places its weight when I'm just trying to open up my eyes and start my day. So I pray, because everybody needs me. I got fires to put out, tall buildings to leap. There's no time to take a pause for the cause that is me. I got to strap on this superwoman cape that's been passed down to me through my ancestry, along with a mask that is custom made just for me. Each one of it, but it bears a striking resemblance to the one of those who came before me. Each one of them is contoured specifically, simply to conceal, not heal, the scar so deep my soul can feel, but the naked eye cannot see. And even though I try to forget them after all this time, painful memories come back and replay themselves over and over again in my mind. I fight to stay present, but invisible ties keep me mentally traveling back in time to people and places and things that change me. Now I'm off creating fantasies about how things would be if things had went down differently. I guess I'm still waiting on God to grant me that serenity. But would I recognize it if He gave it to me? So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my reality. Survey says I cannot let reality show. I gotta make my face ready to face the world with my superwoman cape on and my matching mask and toe, because see, being secretly depressed is fine. Because then if I let it show, then I'm just a black woman who's angry. It seems like this faking until I make it facade has evolved into a destructive way of escaping. So I just keep hiding the fact that I can't manage my life, my home, and my emotions. I just keep showing happy, smiling posts of all my productivity, knowing deep down inside I can't feel a thing. I'm just checking off boxes and going through the motions. I have somehow managed to get lost in my own body. I just want to rave away, but there's nowhere to go. Convincing everyone that I'm on cloud nine, but I'm really just lost in the fog, praying that nobody knows. I simply want to feel again. Dance in the rain again. Taste, touch, and smell everything that I do. Swim, float, and backstroke through the waves of life instead of feeling like I'm drowning in a cesspool. But how does the one who's the life of the party admit that they're dying inside nice and slow? How do I admit that I had mentally slipped so far from grace when I'm the one who's everybody's #goals, but perhaps everyone else doesn't matter, because I'm the only one that has to live with me. I've been running from myself for so long and I'm so tired. This is not how I want my life to be. So I may have to step away from the lights and the cameras and the action for a minute, because true healing ain't posted on the gram and nor is it televised. It ain't pretty, it ain't sexy, but for all eyes to see, so viewer discretion will be advised. So then I will remember how powerful I am. Learn how to set my mind and soul free. Strap on that Superwoman cape I got one more time, but this time, the one that I'll be saving will be me. So, this is my last poem of the night. Nothing ever is like a simple answer with me, I'm sorry. So,
Why are you apologizing?
when I was very young, my brothers developed mental illness. One of my brothers came down with depression, and then the other developed bipolar disorder, and they both went missing for like a long time. And I was like really sad all the time, and I was depressed, and I became very unproductive. So there was like a lot of years where I had no direction, no goals. I was just in survival mode.
Yep.
And so when I started to come to, I just started being busy because I felt like I lost so much time.
Mm-hmm.
And I also am an overachiever.
No.
So,
You don't say.
What a curse word! I want to throw my shoe at you.
Oh.
but please don't throw your shoe at me. I'm like, Nyla was performing and somebody threw a shoe at her.
She had a George Bush that look.
But no, real talk.
It's just a flip flop.
It's not like a boot.
Why not?
You say why not?
You know. So yeah, and I think also, I got issues, but I am learning. When he said doing better every year, you don't have to do better every year. That really hit me. Because I'm always thinking advance, and sometimes I just gotta be like present and happy, just in the nothingness. If I'm not doing anything, if we're not being productive, if we're not getting a new this or a new deal or a new show or a new this or a new that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still okay, we exist.
That's right.
You know? And I will go to I remember I went to Africa last year and they were just freaking happy. And it was like they got 2 outfits, a half a pair of shoes, and I don't get me wrong, there was a lot of wealth there. I went to Tanzania, but I'm talking to everywhere. They was chilling, and the people who were at the resort, they be like, they say pole. I mean slowly. Like, and the guy was like, y'all Americans, man, y'all be like, everything has to be so fast and done. And they be like, my phone got stolen, and the police was like, you know. They wrote it down in a little bitty notebook, like one little flip notebooks you get. The little pocket one. They was like, what's your name?
Did they do the Columbo on you?
They did. They Columbo'd me. And wrote it down in a little book. I was like, all right. When you leave? All right, well. All right. They was chilling. Nothing was a big deal. You know, they literally say, and when we was frantic, they was like, Hakuna Matata. They said that in real life. It was like Hakuna Matata. And I came back and I was overwhelmed by the movement. And I was angry because I realized we live insanity. So this poem is called Present. I said to tell that whole long story.
I like the background.
Yeah.
No, that's all part of the poem.
You look pretty under that light, sis.
Thank you. I showered today.
Woo!
Lotion on my face.
That makes sense.
Just like a Libra.
I know. I'm gonna say thank you. Did anybody get a picture of that?
I
I got video.
Great.
I got
Okay.
pictures of you.
No, because I have certain issues.
You like really photogenic.
Thank you. But I didn't always. I have issues. Like I be thinking that I'm like. I be like, am I pretty? And like, you know. Anyway, I know that I'm beautiful, but I have moments. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear it, I'm like, thank you. So anyway, I'm being real vulnerable. So I look in the mirror like, you are beautiful, and then I'll be like, am I? Yeah, I am. It's still today. No need to think about tomorrow. I'm just going to sit here and sip my coffee, and I will focus on tomorrow. Tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, tomorrow will be today, and I will be present in that day. I will not think of yesterday. No fretting over what I did not do, because there is no going back in time. I will not rush. I will not stress. I will just be and do my best. All is fine and will be done in due time. Don't eat the whole day in one bite. Nibble on each moment and breathe in between. Take another sip of coffee, or perhaps, if you prefer, a cup of tea. See, the source of our anxiety lies in the reflection of moments lies in the thoughts of moments that have not happened, or in reflection of moments we cannot get back. Erase it all from your mind and drink in the moment that you have. We rush through seconds. We plow through minutes. We blink and scroll entire hours away. Can't figure out how the milk I bought was sour. I could have sworn I just bought it yesterday. We wake up in the morning, then blink twice, and we're getting ready for bed. Stop. Drink some tea. Pick up a book you have not read, and don't forget to breathe. Wake up, go to work, but first stop and smell a flower. Go to the gym, go to the mall, and maybe stop and stare at the sky for like a half an hour, because you do have time. Post no pictures. Do not scroll. And do not ask Google anything. It will send you down a long, winding rabbit hole. Yes. I'm still sitting here breathing, sipping my coffee. I have not moved from this spot. Where do I really just have to be? See, we seek invisible, non-existent validation by being inexplicably busy, bragging about how much we do while we are still unfulfilled and empty, priding ourselves in the projection that we are winning an imaginary race. Then we look down on ourselves when we cannot keep up the pace. We spend dollars while chasing dimes. We're killing ourselves on a quest to survive. Even the earth rests. I am rebelling because I'm tired. I don't want to rush anymore. So I'm not. I'm going to finish this last sip of coffee while I don't forget to breathe. What I will do in the next moment, well, I ain't gonna think about that right now. When the moment comes, we will see. Thank you. Well, the moment I wrote that poem, I was about to leave out the house. I was rushing. My son needed me. My nana needed this. I was trying to run to the gym. I was trying to do all this stuff. And I was like, what the hell am I doing? Because I have this thing, I got to be at the gym before 8, 7:30, 7 o'clock, 6:30, 6. Weekends, I give myself till 8, right? I'm like, oh, why? Why? Got the whole entire day. And so, also feel free to follow on YouTube, Visions Poetry, VISION''S Poetry. And yeah, that I think is it. And yes, if you'd like a copy of my book, it is $14.99, and
such a reasonable price.
Such a reasonable price. Thank you all so much. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you,